Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Red Pill News Special Edition. Our first story tonight, we're going to be talking about the lie that women have been sold due to feminism. What lie is this? The lie that women have been told that they could have children in their older years. That don't worry about getting married and having children young. You could wait till your 30s. You could wait till your 40s. All we got to do is freeze your eggs. Not really telling women the cost or the risk or the odds of success that this actually might have or might not have. To get a little bit more on this situation, let me talk about the cost. See, unfortunately, it costs about $12,500 just to freeze their eggs. Not to mention the cost for storage is $3,000, and that's only for 5 years. Not to mention inserting the egg with a turkey baster for some odd reason costs us $14,500. That's a grand total of $30,000 for just the chance and opportunity that you might get pregnant. There's no guarantees. And actually, the rate of success is not as high as they make it out to be. For more on this story, we go to our one and only, the man on the street, our number one investigative journalist, the Hudsman. Huds, where are you? There you are.
What's up, Glenn? So I went to talk to one of our other investigative journalists, Kristen Baylor, and I want you to share what she has to say and pay attention to how sad she sounds after working with these women and talking with them on their experience, and how a lot of these women, they tend to go into debt. They are just they are just latching on to Prince Charming will come one day. Well, honey, you're 45.
Thing that you absolutely need to know about egg freezing is that there is no guarantee that it will lead to a baby down the line. Some research shows that even if you're under 38 years old, you only have about a 50-50 shot of seeing a live birth from this procedure.
Wait a minute.
If it's for...
Did you hear that, Huds? Even if you're
50-50.
under 38 years old, these ladies still only have a 50-50 shot. So all those old Bettys that think they're going to have children in their 40s, they are being lied to by the feminists. Yeah.
If it's for peace of mind, like the women that I interviewed, I would say it's probably worth it if you have an extra $10,000 to $15,000 to spend.
Wait a minute. I just got one question. Where are these bitches getting this money?
OnlyFans?
I mean,
if you're going to go into debt to pay for this, you might want to seek financial advice because it's just not, there are no guarantees. Kids cost a lot of money. And if you're spending a ton of money just to get pregnant, it could lead to endless financial trouble down the line. And if you're a single woman who's going through this process alone, it's really something that you should take into consideration.
You know, the sad thing is, Huds, is that I advise people and couples who are married or having babies or are planning to have babies. I always tell them, look, wait until you guys are in a financially secure position in life that you're able to live comfortably, because the cost of a baby, unexpected, is very, very expensive. And if you're not planning for it and you don't have your savings up and you're not working at a job that pays well, having a baby is very, very stressful. The financial cost of all the diapers and all the wipes and all the bottles and all the formula and all the clothes they grow out of, it's daunting in price. And diapers ain't cheap. I mean, have you seen the cost of tampons? All right, multiply that by 5 because of the size. So you could imagine diapers are not cheap. And so
but you're missing something here, Glenn.
What am I missing? I'm just trying to tell people to be financially.
I don't need no man.
Look, bitch, you're gonna listen up here. All right, because what's happening is that if they're not being wise with their money, I mean, if a woman wants to do this procedure and she wants to go down this road, then she better have the money saved up. Don't be going, asking for a sugar daddy to fund your build a baby fund, Serious, it's ridiculous. But if women are going into debt with this and then expecting some man to wife her up and take care of her child, her test tube baby, and pay for her debt? This is ridiculous. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. You know what? Before we go to our next segment, though, Huds, we do have to take a small commercial break. So, folks, when we come back, we're going to tell you why the Air Force is probably one of the best forces around now that the Navy has gone woke.
Are you tired of getting told no? Does every girl reject you? Did you fail at being a passport bro? And are you so lazy that listening to Michael Sartain's motivational speaking gets you exhausted and you just rather just quit before you even start?
Hey, Michael, I want to get rid of my ex-girlfriend. Get in the gym and date more women. Hey, Michael, I want to get better at going on dates. Get in the gym and date more women.
And is this guy your new favorite content creator? And do you find it hard going your own way when you're horny and you just end up simping to some bitch on OnlyFans? Well, let me help you solve your sexless problem. Go to tblocks.com and order your robotic fuck doll today. That's right, robotic fuck doll. They come in all shapes and sizes, like these itty bitty titty betties. It kind of reminds you of the girl next door that never waves at you, but that you always wave at. Or you could get the big titty betties. Look at these big old titties. Don't they look real? You wouldn't know, because you've never touched a boob. And for you real kinky fuckers, you could get one of these guys. Yeah, I said guys, all right. I don't care if it has boobs, it's still a guy. Any hoosers, solve your sexless problem today. Go to www.tblocks.com and get your robotic fuck doll. And to save yourself a little money, make sure you use my hashtag, BitterBachelor. That's right, BitterBachelor24.
Welcome back, folks. Into our next segment. Our nation used to have the strongest military around. We were known for our heroic soldiers, our victories in battle. But now that we've gone woke, our national defense is now quite in jeopardy. And I'm afraid that, well, let's just say Russia or China is probably going to be running this country pretty soon. The way that our Navy has gone.
What's
Have
happened?
you heard about this story?
No, what's happened?
Well, let's just say that due to the low recruitment rates for the Navy, they have decided that they are going to try a new way to, gain some sailors to join their service. And let's just say it's not the best model. Check this out.
Attention just for being myself on a daily, because being queer, being non-binary, someone such as myself on a regular gets stared at. And
I'm at the top of my game. I'm right up there with the big dogs. Girls, come on. Leave the saving the world to the men.
Active duty yeoman.
Yes, that is active duty yeoman. That's his rank. He is an openly known cross-dresser, and, well, you saw what he is. Drag queen. And the Navy decided, since they did not reach their recruitment quotas last year, that they're going to try whatever it takes to get people to join. So their new campaign, well, is ran by a drag queen promoting himself as a drag queen in uniform. Yeah.
I'm trying to understand here. How is that going to raise recruitment?
If anything, I think, the Taliban, China, and Russia are like, oh, yes, this is awesome. Look at these fucking pansies. Think about it. Do you really think a drag queen is going to defend you from, I don't know, Osama bin Laden too?
The biggest thing that I'm worried about is if a drag queen has my back, how do I know something's not coming in my butt?
Oh, it's definitely coming in your butt. It's definitely.
Wait, so you were in the Air Force, right?
Yes, I was.
So did they do this in the Air Force?
No, we didn't do that. We were actually the smartest branch out of the military. See, actually, in order to get in the Air Force, you got to score pretty high on your ASVAB. So I got the brains. You know what I mean?
Mm.
The Navy, well, it first was represented by the Village People. You remember the YMCA video? The gay
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of people singing YMCA, all that gay stuff. Well, they wore a Navy uniform. And nowadays we have trannies wearing Navy uniforms. The Navy's gone gay and it's gone woke.
Well,
And
I
pretty
mean, there's
soon-
only so much you gotta be fair. There's only so much you can do when you're locked up on a boat with a bunch of guys.
Well, instead of swabbing the decks, they'll be swabbing the dicks these days, apparently.
There you go.
We'll be back with our final segment after this brief commercial break. Thank you.
Are you gay and looking for love? Are you having a hard time? Are you wanting to find meaningful connections, not just guys that want to pull their pants down, show you their Johnson, and make you suck their dick while you're trying to read a book? Do you find yourself striking out at your local gay watering hole? Strike one, strike two, strike three, and nobody just seems to be interested in your gay ass? You should contact the Hudsman, the dating coach for the gays, Philly's best. So if you want to end up like these carpet munchers who got married, or these Peter Puffers who got married and living their happily gay after, then you need to reach out to the Hudsman, guaranteed Philly's best gay dating coach just for you.
So, Huds, tell me, how's business been? Been good?
What the heck was that?
Look, you told me you were hurting for money. You said you wanted, something on the side that you could do. I know that you go frequent the gay clubs. And I figured, I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of Peter Puffers down there that have a hard time, picking up dudes or chicks or whatever they pick up. And you're pretty much of a smooth operator. So I figured, you know what? Why don't I start Huds a dating business for the gays? They probably need to find love too. Don't you want to
Well,
help?
I'm not gonna lie, it did work out pretty well for me.
It did now. How many clients you got?
Let's just say it's more than 5 I've been able to
I
help
knew it.
out. Which
I
was
knew
weird,
it.
dude. It was weird. It was weird to get involved in, but hey, you did something.
I'm here for you.
Thank you, sir. I very much appreciate it, but I very much hate you for that.
Why all the hate?
Because that's not what I set out to do.
Look,
Ay. Let's get to
Sometimes
the
you
next
gotta
story.
do
I'm not
what you gotta do.
playing this game no more. We'll go on to the next story.
all right, on to our final segment of the night. There's one thing that we always could rely on. It was faith. Our religious freedoms here in America was once just something you never heard of any other nation having. We were a trendsetter. We allowed you to have your religious beliefs without infringing upon your beliefs and telling you had to believe certain religious doctrine. That was the freedom that you had. You had the freedom to exercise your belief system. Now religion is under attack, beliefs are under attack, and so is the faith. As the faith has been under attack, it seems like the faith culture has been watered down. I once asked Hudsman this question because we are both believers in the Jesus. And I asked him, isn't the church supposed to influence and shape culture? And Hud said, yes, Glenn, I believe that's what it's supposed to do. I said, isn't it supposed to be the light of the world and the salt of the earth? It's supposed to be that bright light that guides the lost. He's like, yes. Isn't it supposed to give the world flavor? And he was like, yes. I was like, why is it that I can no longer tell the difference between a church service and a Nicki Minaj concert? Huds, we're going to have to talk about the Ruslan.
Oh, not this guy again.
Please tell everybody a little bit about the Ruslan, Huds.
Well, Ruslan, he kind of picks and chooses what he does with the Bible. I have to say, he has the Book of Ruslan. I have yet to be able to find the full doctrine, but it's kind of a pick and choose and slightly different.
Really? Does he misinterpret the regular Bible? Is that what it is?
I think it's more of a pick and choose. I think it's a purposeful misinterpretation of the Bible.
Well, this is the Ruslan, everybody, that we're talking about. This chap here he is a Christian rap star. He does the hippity hop, beep bop, don't stop, drop it like it's hot stuff. And well, he's been very critical of the red pill. He's also attacked Rollo Tomasi many times and slandering his name and questioning even Rollo's faith for just writing a book on empirical data. For some reason, if you write a book on empirical data and you choose to not influence your work by talking about your own faith, that makes you not a Christian. And, so he has this thing about calling people not Christians and questioning their faith, just like he does here with Steven Crowder. After the leaked video of Steven Crowder's argument with his wife, Ruslan decided to shame Steven and call him, well, you'll hear, he questions his Christianness as well.
Consistent pattern of being fairly unbearable in some of his content, not all of his content, because I'm not going to say all of his content is bad, but some of his content, and that we would think he is somehow different in his personal life and he is not unbearable or frustrating to deal with in his real life. I think joke's on you, right? And again, and the fact that this is all done in the name of being a Christian is one of the biggest
broken marriage.
This is Ruslan's buddy. This is Pastor Tim Roth. From what I understand, he is the overseeing pastor or the apostle of Mike Todd, who happens to be the pastor of the church called Transformation Church in Oklahoma. They made a huge fiasco, made news this past April, I'm sorry, when they hosted a Jesus concert, a resurrection concert, that is, and it looked more like a Cardi B show. I mean, they even had a female Jesus. Yeah. Can you figure that? Pretty disgusting. Well, this guy happens to be the overseeing apostle or pastor to that church. And he was on Ruslan's show, being very judgmental and critical of people. But I watched him preach one Sunday service, and I couldn't tell the difference between, well, him and what I see down at the strip club or a Lil Wayne concert. Want to see? Let me show you.
Got a handful of stacks, better grab an umbrella. I make it rain. I make it rain on them hoes. I make it rain. I make it rain on them hoes.
We don't make it rain on booty cheeks.
No, we do not.
We don't make it rain on strippers.
No, we do not.
We only reverence one stripper.
What?
What the fuck?
And that's the one that took off glory.
Ooh, what's the name?
To put on humanity. And then get butt naked on a cross.
Doesn't sound like a woman. Oh, but that does.
I got bread in my pocket. 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 I got bread. I got.
Oh, he dropped it low. Take it, big boy. Drop it low, Pastor. Drop it low again. Oh, get rid of you. I knew that move from somewhere. So, yeah, that was church. Interesting, huh?
Who is this stripper he's talking about?
I don't know who he's referencing. I think he's trying to imply that the Lord Savior Jesus Christ, the one that died on a wooden cross for us, happened to be a stripper back in the day. I've read the Bible many times, and I know that Jesus walked on water. He raised Lazarus from the dead. He healed a dying girl, and he healed a woman that had a blood disease. Okay, he made water into wine, and he fed 5,000 people with like bread and a couple fish. All right. Nowhere in there did it say Jesus frequent or moonlighted over at Club Boom Boom next to Bethlehem, not by the Galilee Sea. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that. So he's implying, I think, that the Lord Savior is a stripper.
That's blasphemy.
Yeah. And he's a pastor. And the funny thing is that that's Ruslan's buddy and pal. Now, when Ruslan was questioned about this, all he said was, it really wasn't in the best of character, or it could have been done better, or just the analogy wasn't that great. He kind of just brushed it off. But I mean, if you have an argument with your wife and in the heat of a moment you say some curse words, your Christianity, your salvation's in question. But when you get on stage and supposed to be preaching the word of God and you blaspheme him with this stripper reference, for some reason that still makes you good and you're still a good old Christian.
Yeah, what's worse there? I quite honestly think that blasphemy against Jesus, which is inherently blasphemous against God, is a lot worse.
Apparently not. Not to Ruslan. But you know what? It's probably in that book of Ruslan that you were mentioning.
Oh yes. Yes. I think it's commandment number 11 in that book, and it's thou shalt drop it low. So
Thou
it
shalt drop
is
it low.
acceptable. It is acceptable. So our entire argument, entire statements are null and void.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. The Bible talks about in the end times that there's going to be a lot of false prophets and false teachers with a whole lot of false doctrines. They're going to be doing some Christianese stuff like this, that they're going to want to be trying to attract the culture by looking like the culture and trying to sell some watered down Christianity. Well, that is going to be lukewarm people, and they get spit out of the mouth because nobody likes something lukewarm, either hot or cold. And as Ruslan tries to be all high and mighty, acting like he is God's standard bearer of Christianness, he needs to check his own people in his own circle before he starts looking at the sinners of the world that he's supposed to be trying to save. Instead of mocking and shaming them, how about you mock and shame your own brethren?
Glenn Lawrence has been doing God's work.
I know who my God is. Hallelujah.
Huds, do you have any last final thoughts on this segment?
I don't, man. I mean, this final segment, incredibly interesting. I think you're absolutely right. Don't call out others before you can call out those within your own tribe. That is definitely the most important thing first. I think this was a lot of really interesting stories that we did today. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what else we can dig up through some of this investigative journalism.
Until next time, people, enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you for watching the Red Pill News Special Edition.